Bill Haney has finally reacted to one of the biggest stories in boxing as Errol Spence Jr. suffered a unanimous decision loss to Tim Tszyu before announcing his retirement from the sport. Spence returned to the ring after a 3-year absence hoping to prove he still belonged among boxing's elite, but Tsayu's relentless pressure, sharp combinations, and superior activity earned him a convincing victory on the scorecards. Shortly after the fight, Spence emotionally confirmed that he was retiring from boxing, saying he wanted to leave the sport healthy and spend more time with his family. The result immediately sent shockwaves through the boxing world, with fans, fighters, and trainers sharing their thoughts on the end of an incredible career. Bill Haney, never one to stay silent on the biggest boxing headlines, praised Errol Spence for everything he accomplished throughout his career while acknowledging that every great fighter eventually reaches the end of the road. Haney emphasized that Spence fought the best opponents of his era, unified world titles, and never backed away from difficult challenges. According to Bill, true champions should be remembered for their willingness to take risks instead of protecting undefeated records. He stated that Spence earned the respect of boxing fans by continuously facing elite competition, even after suffering setbacks against Terence Crawford and now Tim Tszyu. Bill also gave full credit to Tim Tszyu for the performance of his career. He explained that Tszyu fought with discipline, patience, and intelligence, refusing to chase a knockout while consistently winning rounds with pressure and body attacks. Bill noted that Tszyu looked stronger as the fight progressed, proving that he belongs among the best fighters in the division. He believes the Australian star has now positioned himself for major championship opportunities and even bigger pay-per-view fights after defeating a future Hall of Famer. The discussion then shifted toward what Spence's retirement means for boxing as a whole. Bill reflected on Spence's remarkable journey, from becoming a unified welterweight champion to overcoming serious injuries outside the ring and returning to compete at the highest level. While many fans hoped for one final comeback, Bill said there is honor in walking away with health, financial security, and a legendary legacy intact. He pointed out that very few fighters get to choose their own ending, and Spence was able to do exactly that despite falling short against Tszyu. Bill Haney also connected the moment to the new generation of boxing stars. He argued that the sport is entering a new era where younger fighters must now carry the torch left behind by champions like Spence, Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, and others approaching the final stages of their careers. He encouraged rising fighters to study Spence's work ethic, discipline, and willingness to fight the best, saying those qualities are what separate true champions from social media stars. The conversation naturally turned toward Devin Haney's future. Bill stressed that Devin remains focused on creating his own legacy and continuing to chase the biggest names available. He explained that boxing is constantly evolving, and every retirement creates new opportunities for younger champions to become the face of the sport. While paying tribute to Spence, Bill made it clear that Devin's mission remains unchanged, to face elite opposition, win world titles, and prove himself against the very best regardless of public criticism. Fans have been divided by Bill Haney's comments. Some praised him for showing respect toward Errol Spence after years of competitive rivalries between fighters and promoters. Others focused on his praise of Tim Tszyu, believing the Australian has officially re-established himself as one of boxing's biggest attractions after an impressive comeback run. Social media quickly filled with debates over where Tszyu now ranks among the world's best fighters and whether he deserves another world title opportunity immediately. As for Errol Spence, his retirement closes the chapter on one of the most accomplished careers of the modern boxing era. A former unified welterweight king, Spence built his reputation by defeating elite opponents and never avoiding difficult fights. Although his final appearance ended in defeat, many believe his legacy was secured long before he stepped into the ring against Tim Tszyu. His decision to prioritize family and long-term health has been widely respected throughout the boxing community. With Tim Tszyu's career reaching new heights and Errol Spence officially stepping away from boxing, the sport now enters another exciting chapter. Bill Haney's reaction reflects what many insiders believe: respect the legends who paved the way, celebrate the new stars rising to the top, and remember that greatness is defined not only by victories, but by the courage to challenge the very best until the very end. What's up, fight fans? The boxing world is still processing one of the biggest stories of the year after Tim Tszyu defeated Errol Spence Jr. by unanimous decision in Sydney, Australia, with scorecards of 118-110 and 117-111 twice. Following the loss, Spence shocked fans by announcing his retirement from professional boxing, bringing an end to an incredible career. Now, Bill Haney has shared his reaction to the emotional ending of Spence's career, praising the former unified champion while also speaking honestly about what went wrong inside the ring. According to Bill Haney, Errol Spence has nothing left to prove. He reminded fans that Spence fought the very best throughout his career, unified multiple world titles, and became one of the most respected fighters of his generation. Bill said boxing is a brutal sport where every fighter eventually reaches the point where it's time to walk away, and he believes Spence made the right decision by retiring while healthy enough to enjoy life with his family. Bill also credited Tim Tszyu for delivering a disciplined performance. Rather than chasing an early knockout, Tszyu stayed patient, controlled the pace, landed the cleaner shots, and gradually took over as the fight entered the middle and late rounds. The Australian's pressure, body work, and activity proved too much for Spence, who was fighting for the first time in nearly 3 years. Speaking on Spence's performance, Bill noted that long layoffs are extremely difficult to overcome in elite boxing. Ring rust, timing, reflexes, and conditioning can all disappear after years away from competition. While Spence showed flashes of the fighter fans remember, Bill believes inactivity played a major role and that Tszyu deserved full credit for capitalizing on every opportunity. Bill Haney also pointed out that great fighters are often judged too harshly after losses. He urged boxing fans to remember everything Errol Spence accomplished before focusing only on his final fight. From dominating the welterweight division to facing the toughest opposition available, Spence built a Hall of Fame resume that shouldn't be forgotten because of one defeat. He added that retirement doesn't erase greatness. Every legend eventually reaches the end of the road, and what matters most is leaving the sport with respect, financial security, and good health. Spence himself echoed those feelings after the fight, saying he was thankful to retire healthy and spend more time with his family. As for Tim Tszyu, Bill believes this victory completely changes the landscape of the middleweight division. Defeating a future Hall of Famer on a major stage gives Tszyu new momentum and opens the door for world title opportunities against the biggest names available. While some critics questioned whether Spence was still at his peak, Bill emphasized that beating a fighter of Spence's caliber is still a career-defining achievement. The reaction from fans has been mixed. Some believe Spence made the right decision to retire after such a long layoff, while others feel he should have stepped away following the Crawford loss in 2023. Either way, there is widespread respect for everything The Truth accomplished during his remarkable career. Bill Haney finished by wishing